Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Corso, doing my part 2 on my high energy Corso. As I've said before, this is Patina, aka Cochina Patina. I've got multiple toys here to kind of show you. Get down. Get down. Ready? Here. What's the toy? What's this toy? What's this? Go get that toy. Now, I've been working with her, and so she's actually doing quite a bit better. As far as being able to contain her energy. So one of the things that I think is really important when you're dealing with a high energy puppy is that, particularly one that really wants to chew on stuff, is that you make sure that you have a couple different options available to keep your dog entertained. Because these puppies oftentimes really need to get out that energy somehow. And when they're in the house and they're not able to wear themselves out physically, they'll really look for something to chew on. And that's what she'll do. She'll come inside and she'll immediately grab things and run around and try to grab something to chew on that she probably shouldn't be chewing on. And the unfortunate reality with this breed of dog is that very often they expire prematurely because they've ingested something that they shouldn't have when the owner wasn't watching, and the owner either was unable to or didn't notice the signs that the dog needed immediate veterinary care. And sometimes even with veterinary care, expedient veterinary care, it's not always a guarantee that you'll save the dog, because it can cause torsion, which is basically twisting of the intestines. It can cause necrosis. So basically a blockage can cut off the blood circulation to the intestines, and it can cause necrosis of the tissue, which even with removal and surgery can be unsuccessful because the dog can go septic, which basically means that the infection goes into the bloodstream, or the damage can just be too great that the dog would be unable to recover. So I think it's really imperative that when you have a high energy dog, high energy puppy that has a habit, and how you'll know this is they'll run around and they'll just be getting into stuff, grabbing things and parading it around like it's a prize. And when that happens, you need to take note, and you need to make sure to get that dog lots of toys to kind of stimulate that drive to chew on things, but in a positive way where they're not getting into things that they shouldn't. And also it gives you the ability to redirect. So for example, when I first came in here, I had just put on my house shoes, and I had my other pair of shoes on the floor that I had been wearing previously. And she promptly came over, tried to grab my sock. And she's sneaky. She's very smart. And what she did is she grabbed my sock in combination with that little furry gray toy so that you couldn't actually see the sock. And socks are something that dogs really like. It's very much a target for them. So please make sure that, really and truly, anything that absorbs a lot of your human scent is going to be a target for dogs. So that includes your socks, your bras, if you're a woman, your undergarments. Dogs just want to eat anything that smells like you. So, and like I said, that very much includes stinky socks. So very, very important that you kind of pick up after yourself and make sure that you make that a habit, because it can very well cost you your dog's life in the end. So I promptly picked those things up. And she's so fast that I literally did it like as soon as I put the shoe down, she immediately went for it. Let's see if she'll do it. Let me see if I put these down. Look, she's looking. Look at her looking at them. Look at her look. Look at that eye. She's like, I want that so bad. She's like, I want it. She's like, I want that shoe. Let's see what she does. Let's see what she does. Let's see. Look at inching closer, inching closer. No. Immediately tries to grab it. Immediately. Look at her. And look at, she knows she's not supposed to. Immediately tries to. Like I said, doing a lot better. Before she just would have ran up and grabbed it. And so what I would do is make sure that I have lots of toys. Now that's technically a bird toy, but it fell off. Yeah, she's like, whatever. She doesn't care about that. Patina. See? Wants to jump around from each one. Now, the ball I will only give her supervised because it is a bird toy. It's not meant for puppies. What are you doing? Psst, hey! Don't you be smelling around. What do you think you're doing? Don't you be smelling around. Don't you be smelling. You think I don't see you? Mm-mm. Here we go. Look, let's see. What's this? So, and then every now and then I'll give her a pig ear. Her wagging her tail. She's going to make a mess with that. You're going to make a mess. I know you are. Yes, you are. You're going to make a mess. Mm-hmm. You're going to make a mess. Now, one of the things about her, and I will caution you about high energy dogs, particularly if you have another dog in the room, like any other dog that the other dog may perceive as competition, as well as yourself. If you think the dog might perceive you as trying to take away this chew thing, particularly something like a pig ear or a rawhide, it's really important that you choose sizes. So a lot of people try to choose one that's like really big in hopes that it would like prevent them from swallowing it. But I promise you that they will. And it will, and then you'll be terrified and you'll be waiting and hoping that they pass it. So I highly recommend that you do smaller pieces, because that way, when the dog potentially does what their nature is to do, which is to immediately scarf it down to prevent, their competition from getting it, whether they perceive that to be you or another dog, at least it is a small, manageable amount. They're not going to be choking or have a blockage from it. And I highly recommend things like pig ears over things like rawhide, because they absorb well. There is actual nutrition from the pig ear. It's not bleached in any way. So personally, I think that it's a much better source of a chewing toy. I don't even know that I would call it a toy. It's really more of like a treat. And what I like about these are that the dog has the satisfaction of getting something, right? There's, she's enjoying that. She's getting a little protein, little fat and protein there. But on top of it, I don't know if you've ever sat and tried to chew on a piece of gum for a long time, but your jaw kind of gets sore. And so I would imagine that it is a very similar feeling for her. And so there's a lot of energy that gets exerted in this process. And I do believe that it helps them calm down a bit and exert some energy. Not a lot, right? We're talking about just simmering down at the end of the night. We're not, trying to, do a bunch of stuff. And it's just a good way to get them to settle down a bit and be calm, and to kind of incentivize being calm at the end of the night. And then during the daytime, you can do a lot to exert that energy. And I think it's very important to do so, particularly with these higher energy dogs. It's very important for their long-term mental health in your home that you give them an outlet. So the only thing I would say to that is that you be very careful not to be a weekend warrior. So, for example, that's whenever your dog is sedentary throughout the week, and then you take your dog out on Saturday, Friday, Sunday, whatever, and you throw the ball a lot because the dog does not have the physical stamina built up to do that yet. And dogs don't have the ability to really recognize what physical shape they're in as far as how much energy they should be exerting. And so if you're not careful, you'll cause injury to the dog because they're overexerting themselves on the weekends, but then sedentary during the week. So it's really important that you treat your dog like the athlete that it is, and you do proper exercise and muscle and stamina buildup so that the dog can always handle the level of play and exercise that you're exposing them to. So on a puppy like this, I won't do anything with her as far as throwing a ball or anything like that. She really does need to grow and mature. On a dog like this, what you would see me do is just take her out on walks on the property, letting her run around and, wear herself out, chew on sticks, stuff like that, giving her the ability to run and play, which she naturally wants to do. I don't need to throw a ball for her to do what she wants to do, which is run around like a maniac. All right, sorry you guys. My phone literally, I had this setting on my phone where I guess I had told my phone that it was allowed to restart to optimize whenever it needed to optimize, and it literally just decided to restart as I was filming, which is really lame. But she finished her pig ear. So she's trying to get into my litter box. No. And no. And so what I'll do, since she's being a butt, because she finished her pig ear, is I'm going to grab a toy and I'm going to try to, let's see. There we go. So basically what I did there is I stimulated her prey drive by taking it and enticing her with it and whatnot. But as you can see here, you see how she just switches? She's just not quite satisfied with just the one. She got so much energy. Look at her. She just don't know what to do. Not my shoes, you don't. She don't know what to do with herself. And that's why it's really important to constantly have different kinds of toys and different kinds of stuff. But overall, to make sure as they get older, and you can, that you allow them to exert a lot of that energy. No. See, she tried to get up on my stuff over there. No. Shh. Patina. Shh. Shh. I did a simulated mouth bite. She went in submission. There we go. Chill out. Chill out. What are you doing? Patina. Don't you try it. I need to take her outside. I'm going to take her outside, you guys, because I don't want to go into the bathroom in my house. But just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on really how I'm handling this, how you can handle it if you end up with a higher energy dog or a higher energy Corso. And just, like I said, make sure you have lots of toys to stimulate the brain. Options to keep them satisfied and not bored. As well as like a nice chew/treat, like a pig ear, to kind of help them get some of that out. Especially when they're being indecisive like she is today. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Yeah, you better sploot. You better sploot. You better sploot. You better sploot. Patina cochina. Cochina putina. She's so good. She's such a good girl. You're such a good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. Boo-boo. And your boo-boo. Your boo-boo. Anyway, alrighty. Well, I hope you guys are having a good day. And I'll talk at you later. Bye.